everyone, and welcome back to the Western Centurion channel. Today is Sunday the 16th of July and the time is about 7:45 in the morning. So what I've been up to for the last 2 months, or since my last video that I put up. Well, my mind has been pretty well stuck in work. It's been really intense, and my whole day's work are basically spent on problem solving, fault finding on the machines that we make, and continual improvement. So yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that the faults that I'm trying to find on the machines aren't made in the first place. That's the continual improvement bit, and it really is taxing on the mind. I get home from work, I'm absolutely shattered, and combined with that mess that this garage is in, or all the stuff we got down in this garage, if I have like half an hour in the evening to spend down here in the garage, it can take a good 10 minutes to move everything so I can get to what I need to do, and then after that I've got to spend another 10 minutes putting it all back, and that's quite, you know, sort of think, well, 20 minutes isn't enough. But anyway, it took a couple of people to, shall we say, convince me to get my focus back on the layout, and I have. So don't worry, I haven't lost my mojo. It's still there, and I hope that after this little update, you'll see that my mojo most definitely is still here. I started doing a bit on Friday evening, and I've spent all day yesterday, which is Saturday, in here up to 6 o'clock last night, laying some track. What's that? Yep, I can hear you all dropping like flies with surprise. He's actually laid some track, and I have. Actually, I've done more than lay some track. I've actually laid or wired up and put down 4 sets of turnouts as well, and they all work. Woohoo! So, well, I won't keep you waiting any longer. I expect you're dying to see what I've done, so this will be the first update, and then once I've got this video edited and uploaded, I'll be continuing on what I'm doing, and that will be the second update, which I hope will be up later on tonight. Okay, so you all have a lovely Sunday, and I'll see you again this evening. Bye! Okay, so what I've been up to since my last video. Well, what you can see in front of you is pretty much it. Doesn't look a lot because it's not a lot, basically, but I am started. I've started again yesterday, which was Friday. So I just want to just briefly go over what I'm planning on doing and what I managed to get done yesterday evening. Okay, so what I did yesterday was I wired up this turnout here and connected these 2 bits of track. Now these are actually going to be a sidings or storage for probably maybe an HST or all the lights, you know, built-up trains basically. So yes, so that's wired in and it's working, and I will probably put in a little video somewhere of the Class 37 going over it, and absolutely fabulous, working a treat. I've put in insulated joiner there and another one in there. So today, what I plan on getting done today is I'm going to have to wire up some more turnouts, which will be turnouts for here and the 3-way turnout I want to get done, which will link up those 3 pieces of track. Now these 2 here, is it these 2? No, these 2. If I can point downwards, so these will be the through loop. Alright, so that will run continuously all the way around the fiddle yard. That's just so that I can have trains coming down from the top section down into the fiddle yard, maybe let them run around a couple of times and then back up again, just to give that nice little bit of a delay of them running around the top. I don't know whether to make it any more realistic, but it's just a little idea that's going through my head. And what I should be able to have, I think, when I'm done, will be 1, 2, 3 through loops, 4, 5, 6, and that one at the back 7. So it should be 7 areas for storage, and they will run pretty much the whole length of the garage. Those back 2 will run all the way underneath the incline, all the way down to the bottom here, and re-emerge out there, and then obviously have to turn to the left and carry on. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with these down here yet. I'll think about that when I get to it, but at the moment I'm just concentrating on this area up here. I've got 4 lengths of track there. Now I need to solder, pair them up and solder them together. That's what I'll use for the curved section around here. I've got it in my head how it's going to come round, but at the moment, if I do it at the moment, that'd be 1 curve, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be 4 lots of track coming around there. But the one thing I don't want is to have 4 lots going up over the drop down section, because if I include these 2 on the incline, that will make it 6 lots of track on there, and that's too much to fit around there. So what I'll be doing is I'll bring this track, as you can see I've got the points down there, onto the 2 main loops that I'm going to have going around the fiddle yard. And again with this one, from that point there, we'll come and join the main loop as well. So that should obviously reduce the amount of track that I'm going to have onto there. So I'm going to have to wire up all these turnouts as well, but I'm going to do those ones first, get those into place, a bit of track on them, and just get a loco running around just to make sure that they're working and I'm happy with them. The one thing I did discover though is that for some reason I did not put the bus wire along underneath the baseboard or the fiddle yard section here, so I've got to get that done. I'll probably do that tomorrow morning, because it's going to take me a while to get this track down here. So that is pretty much the plan. Oh, the drop down section, this is just loose at the moment because that was plywood originally and it was terrible. So I think I'm going to show you here. Look, see, it's just delaminating really badly. Hope you can see that. And again there. So I decided to take that section out and I've replaced it with 12mm MDF. I will cut a new section to go in there so it's a bit tidier, and a new piece to go in across here, which so it would just be one piece and not made up of 2 pieces. Now this is a template I made up. So this here is 3rd radius and that's 4th radius curve. And that's just to give me an idea of where the track will come from. So we've got the track here from the incline, will come down, and that gives an idea of how it will curve round on the drop down section and then run on through onto the next bit of baseboard. And that means that I can then play with this. I can then pull this down here, maybe do that, and that now shows me how I can connect up to the other bits of track under there. very handy. It just gives a good insight. Maybe if I put that there, like so. And that's probably where the other two sets of track will come from, the one for the main loop all the way around the fiddle yard. Alright, so I'll get cracking now. I'm going to do a bit more, and when I got a bit more track down I will do another video. Okay, so catch you soon. Bye. And there we have it, the first 3 turnouts all completed, wired up and ready to go down in the fiddle yard. I've done the isometric turnout. It should be right. I replaced the 3 wired or the frog wires with green wire, because that's I want to keep to the same theme on all the points. Plus it's also better insulated when it's actually underneath the baseboard. I've left the springs in the turnouts at the moment. I'll take those out later on, because before I actually get the motors in place, I'll be having to operate these by hand. So if I take the springs out, they'll be pretty much useless. And I have, or I have mentioned it in previous videos, that I'll be going with servos to actuate the points, and I'll be using Dave Fenton's Mega Points circuitry for that. I had a look on his website yesterday, and to get the main board for it plus the one for the DCC is going to cost me about £90, but that will operate 12 points or 12 metaphor signals. For me, it's the perfect way forward for operating these points. They can be nice and slow, they're very quiet, and I just love the way they operate the metaphor signals as well. You get the bounce in the signals, and it does look so authentic. So yeah, that's the way I'll be going. So well, I best get these down. I've still got the track, those 2 pairs of track I've got to solder together. So I'll get those done now, and then the next video hopefully these turnouts will be in place. Okay, catch you again later. Bye bye. Right, okay, end of day 1, and I'll just quickly take you over what I've actually managed to get done today, because it's been a very long day, but boy, it's been fruitful. So if I get back down here, you can see I now have the other 3 sets of points in, including the 3-way point, and I'm pleased to say that they all work. They really do work, and my old faithful, the Class 37, had no problem at all going over them, and that was at speed notch 4, which is the lowest that she'll go at, and there's no stutter, no loss of sound, anything. So yeah, I'm well over the moon with that. And one of the other things I was really happy about was the curves I managed to get in. It's really, that was the best way to do this. So that curve, this one and that one are all around about the 4th radius. The only one that's a 3rd radius is this one here, because that one I originally had decided to do that whilst I was doing the rest of the fiddle yard. I was going to have that one going all the way round. It's just something I could have a loco running on whilst I was doing everything else, because it's, you know, Fred, as you said, I need to get something running, and that was the idea in my head. But then I had not better plans, I had other plans, and that was to actually, hey, if I'm going to do that, why not just get the whole blinking thing done? So that's what I've got started on. And tomorrow, what I'll be working on is this section here. So I've got this track here coming down there, and both of those, that one and that one, will stop here. I'm just thought a little bit extra storage, Maybe I could keep a couple of shunters on there, or maybe some of the like the old GWR towed vans. Or it's not going to take much, but there's stuff I can keep on there, and I'll make use of it. So tomorrow I've got these two set of points to wire up, and these two set of points to wire up. So if I get back here, you can see how they're going to line up and what I'm going to do. No need to actually explain that, I'm sure you can see that for yourself. So that'll be part 2. What I'm doing now is part 1, tomorrow will be part 2, then after that will be part 3, and it's how or what I'm going to do with this lift up section, and how I'm going to ensure that all the track runs across the lift out section perfectly without any problems. And if I come back down here, because all of these here, like there, I've got an insulated joiner. This one, insulated joiner. That's an insulated joiner, and that was an insulated joiner. Now I won't tell you any more. I expect some of you will probably be able to suss it out, but there is a purpose behind that, and it's a very, very important purpose, particularly when you have lift outs or drop down or pull up sections of your track. Okay, so I've got everything tidied up now. My favourite toolkit, all the bits I need here for drilling, and all screwdriver bits in that section. Got myself some new little storage units. The ones on the left, or the two on the left, they are full of railway parts, and the two on the right, they're full of all fixings like screws, nails, bolts, latches, all that sort of stuff. And that's the workbench I've been working on today. Absolutely fabulous. I tell you, a real godsend that was, making that, and I don't want to lose it, so I'm going to desperately try and make sure I can actually keep it. But the worst bit is, I'm nearly out of beer, so I'll have to love you and leave you, and I hope part 2 tomorrow will give you a bit more information. Okay, so have a fabulous day and catch you again soon. Bye bye.